Okay, so I have questions first about the
Yes.
individual side, second about the goals. So the individual side, people are going to say, how? Especially, how do we find the best of the best? Because I get asked this question all the time. Jamie, it's easy for you to deal with millionaires, but I came from, a town of 2,000 people. So how do you suggest step by step people actually get around the best of the best? Because usually they've got walls up around them.
Right, right. So I was born homeless, so I started from scratch. And I think a lot of us they surround themselves with what I call default friends. And default friends are basically people that we naturally see where we go, school, work, home, church, and we see people in the neighborhood and we befriend them. But what naturally happens is that these people may not be able to help us reach our higher goals. They have the right intentions, but oftentimes they provide the wrong directions.
Hmm.
Like they want to help us, but they give us bad advice. Like we want to listen to our mothers, but when they give advice about money, they're not making as much as we want to make, right? So we have to learn how we think about income, how we think about ourselves and where we want to go, and find people who've been there so that they can help us to facilitate our dreams.
That makes sense. Okay. So, and that's, I remember specifically in my life looking back and going, I feel like I haven't chosen my friends. They have all chosen me beforehand.
Yeah.
So, how do you go about choosing those right friends to be around?
Well, you have to become an attractive person, not only physically, but spiritually, emotionally, financially.
Mm.
You have to become a very resourceful person. And then a question I like to ask myself is, how do I deliver more value to more people in less time? And what this means is, how do I increase the quantity of what I do and the quality of what I do? And how do I do it in a shorter amount of time? Instead of 5 years, how do I do it in one? Kind of like compressing your goals and making them come to fruition faster than you ever could imagine. And basically, when it comes to setting goals, you have to set goals that scare you because goals that scare you are goals that
Okay,
ultimately
that's
prepare
awesome.
you.
So, when you're reaching out to talk to these people, how are you not scared? I remember my first interview and I was like bright red and like shaking.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
what do we ask them? What are we trying to get? Are we trying to, create more of like, it's one thing to email people and be like, oh my gosh, and I finally get to talk to them.
Yeah,
Amazing. And it's another to actually surround yourself with like those key people, like you were
of
saying, that
course.
really makes a difference. How do we do that?
Well, we're all made out of dust, right? We're all earthlings, and the fact is that like all these successful people that we want to reach actually started where we are right now. So, I always tell people that the people that we're looking for are also looking for us,
Mm.
right? People want you to succeed because when you succeed, everyone benefits, right? So you have to be able to feed your faith and let your fear starve to death. You have to believe that you actually are worthy. And the way you feel that way, the way you build up your self esteem and confidence is first by building your competence, but also believing that these people will help you and by reaching out, reading books, and doing what you believe is right.
How do you build your competence then?
Competence? Well,
Yeah.
obviously you need the skills to pay the bills. So you just become better. I have a rule of 100. And the rule of 100 basically says that if you want to become really good at something, do it 100 times within
Mm.
a 1 year period.
I
So if you
like
want to
that.
yeah, if you want to become a really good cook, cook 100 times in 1 year, right? If you want to become a great speaker, give 100 speeches in 1 year. Author, right? And articles, write 100 articles in 1 year. And I did this year after year after year. It's a numbers game, right? And if you keep building up your competence, eventually Article 1 versus Article 100 would be significantly different. But you have to be able to pay the price and do the work.